It's really dark. I've got to see if I can fix that. Come on. Hey, Rose. Well, I can't get it to fix it. I was trying to fix it. It seems like it's really dark, but I can't get my controls to come up and let me fix it. Let me try one more time. Well, probably need to restart my my computer. I don't do that as often as I probably should. Clear out the cache and everything. Um, I'm not going to be able to do a live stream tonight. I had family come into town that I wasn't expecting. Well, it's a long story, but by Friday I knew they were coming, but I thought they were leaving today, and it looks like they're leaving tomorrow instead of today. And so I'm fixing supper for them tonight, and so I can't stream tonight. And I wanted to let everybody know, so I decided to come on and do something quick. Oh, good, Azure. I'm glad nothing looks dark. Besides telling people that I'm not going to stream tonight like I would love to, I also wanted to show off my Mother's Day gifts because it's so much fun. I'm going to start with my daughter because hers was the most surprise. This is what she gave me. These are Cana lily leaves that she made a journal, and her little label says Diary of a Castaway. Isn't that adorable? She even used twigs to tie it together at the top and bottom. I thought it was very imaginative. And you can open the pages up. So now you know. Hi, Amber. If you ever get lost on a deserted island, you can still craft. You can still journal. Oh, anyway, I've got to try to figure out a way to dry this where it doesn't mold or something. I know, isn't she clever? Um, so that it won't mold, so I can keep it. I think I'll probably maybe layer paper between the leaves. um, and I can maybe I can protect it and save it that way. I don't know, but I hope I can figure out a way to save that. And then my sweet son came to me, I don't know, a day or two before Mother's Day, and he said, Mom, I need, and I had told the kids that my Mother's Day gift, you have to keep this in mind. I told them my Mother's Day gift was that for Friday and Saturday, they were going to go and stay at their grandmother's, and they were going to help her in the garden because she can't do the gardening that she wants to do. And she's always had a garden, and she just can't do that anymore. And so I told them if they would spend a couple of days working in the garden for her, that would be my Mother's Day gift. And so so they were really, surprising me with something this year. Anyway, my son asked me if there was something that I could use for, arts and crafts, or what. He knows how much I love to do this mixed media stuff. And so he asked if there was something I could use. I said, I would love to have a dragonfly stamp. I love dragonflies. I don't have very much dragonfly anything. And so he said, okay. Well, he came out to the studio and he got one of my jelly prints, and he made a copy of it. He didn't even use the original because he didn't want to mess it up in case I wanted to use it for something. And then he made this with some washi tape and my jelly print and a little piece of ribbon, stuff he found out here. He made this cute little bag for to put my Mother's Day gift in, and he found me a dragonfly stamp. So isn't that cool? Oh, I have such sweet kids. And I'll show you where they got all their sweetness from. They got all their orneriness from him too. But my husband got me this because I'd been saying that I wanted to do I wanted to work in one of these books like Dee Dee Willingham does. And my son got me the original Abandoned Places book for Christmas, but he mentioned that it would just kill him if I tore that book up or if I painted in it and messed it up. And so I told him I wouldn't do that. I would just look at it and enjoy it. But I saw this one at Barnes and Noble's. Of course, it cost twice as much as that other one did. This one was $25 at Barnes and Noble's, and that's half price or whatever. And I was telling my husband, "Oh, I would love to have that, but there's no way I'm spending 25 bucks on a book that I'm going to paint inside and I might mess up." And so my husband bought me this book, and he had heard the story of what Ethan said to me when he gave me the other book. And he said, "Now you can only have this book if you will promise me that you will do art inside of it." So so I have an awesome husband and awesome kids, and they made my Mother's Day really special. Um, this last weekend, while the kids were at my mom's, Darren and I spent a lot of time watching TV and movies, and just, we ran around together some. Hi, Janet. But we watched a lot of Amber. I didn't say hi to you, I don't think. Hi. We watched a lot of TV, and so I played. I didn't get to watch Mary's Live because I was watching TV with my husband, but I had this little book, and it's called Where I Went, and it has some words defined, and then it has all these pages that says date, destination, accommodations, traveling companions, and highlights. And that's all that's in here, is different things like that. And I decided I was going to make me a little glue book, excuse me, out of this. And it's kind of a combination of, hi, Patricia, I'm glad you made it. It's kind of a combination of what Packer Dye does and what Carla Caged Fish does, and all the people who watch them. But they're the two that I learned first about collaging stuff from. And so this is my ode to Packer Dye and Caged Fish book. But I did some pages in here this weekend while I was watching TV with my husband. I thought I'd just show you what I did. I'll make sure you can see them. This one was just some stickers I put down, and I didn't like it. So I took a highlighter and just went over it with a highlighter. I'm not sure I still like it. I may cover it up with something. But anyway, I loved all of Caged Fish's little bitty glue books. And then the one that Packer Dye is doing her 100 days in is a small one. And I thought, okay, I'm going to do that. That'll be fun. And then I don't think there's any more here for a little while. I've been trying to work back and forth and in the middle and all of that in this book. So this was my Mother's Day, my Mother's Day collage. There's the mama gardening and the little boy just sitting and watching. It looks like he's got a book in his hand. And I put this guy down first, and he was, obviously opera singer. And so I couldn't figure out what to put over here since he was, gesturing that direction. I finally decided to put a conductor over here. But I love the little book. I'm going to have to make another one of these when this one's finished. This is more like Packer Dye's stuff here. I really like that. But she also does some like this where she puts an image in, So I'm having fun with it. And then I think those are all empty. Yeah. And this one I haven't got a focal point on it yet. This back here is some, I used a piece of acetate. Well, it was like a packaging from something. And I painted, mixed my paint on it, and then I let it dry. So it's kind of like a skin, except that it's actually still on the plastic. And I just glued the plastic in here with the paint side down and the plastic side up, and then put the little frog on there. There's my New Orleans page. We were watching a documentary about New Orleans, and I happened to find that girl. I thought, okay, I'm going to do a New Orleans page. Yeah, red-eyed tree frogs are cute. You don't want to get close to them, but they're cute. And this is the kind of stuff that I normally do, where I try to just change, put a bunch of different things together. So there's a little bit of me in here too. But I just enjoyed finding stuff and gluing it down. So that's that little book. So I did that, and then last night late, I finally got started on Mary's project. And I had this one that actually had enough pages that I could use 2 for each one. So I glued 2 together to make them thicker. Excuse me. But I glued them together to make them thicker. So this is as far as I've gotten. I haven't even got the whole alphabet yet, but I almost got the whole alphabet last night while I watched her replay of her stream. So now I've got to do all the painting and stuff, but it's going to be fun. I love these architecture magazines, but this one really didn't have a whole lot in it that I loved. I did like this page, though. So I decided it was a good one to sacrifice to this project. There's W and X. And then I still, have to do Y and Z. And then I think there'll be a couple of pages left after that. So I may do a 1 and a 2 or something. I don't know. But that's how far I got on that little project last night. And that's it. That's all I've done. Well, I'm also getting ready tomorrow morning at 8:30. Hannah and I are going to go to a elementary school here in town and teach the special needs class about spinning and weaving. So we're going to demonstrate spinning, and then we made up some little bitty cardboard looms that we're going to let them weave on. And then I'm going to show them how to weave on my rigid heddle loom. And I'm taking some of the things that I've woven so they can see some hand woven stuff. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to that. One of my really good friends is a teacher's assistant in that class. And so she asked me if I would come and do that. And I'm excited to get to do that. It'll be nice. There's only going to be about 20 kids there. So it won't be as stressful and hectic as those history fair things that we've done in the past. But it should be fun. It should be fun. But the main reason I'm doing this morning is because I needed to let everybody know that I won't be streaming tonight, since I have family in town that I didn't realize until yesterday was going to be here tonight that I need to cook supper for. So I don't get to see them very often, just a couple of times a year. And so I'm happy they're here. It just was inconvenient. It was Monday night. Oh, did y'all have a good Mother's Day? Nobody's talking. I know you're still here. It was nice and quiet. Well, nice and quiet is good. I like nice and quiet. But, oh, lucky you, Rose. I wish it was rainy here. I would have gladly gotten out in the rain. But we just had heat and sunshine. That's it. I'm glad, Patricia. Well, it was a nice day here, but it got 90 something, I don't know what exactly, but yeah, that's what happens. When you got a present that has to be shipped, it doesn't get there when it at the same time. Hi, Pico. I don't know how to say the rest of your name, so I'm going to just stop with Pico. I don't want to call you Troll Girl, so although there might be something good about that, but I don't know. But I'm glad you're here. Oh, Santa, I saw you at somebody else's stream. Who was that? I remember now. I knew your name looked familiar, but I couldn't remember your real name. Anyway, I'm glad you're here, Santa. Do you make troll dolls or do you just like them? I need to be doing something while I'm sitting here chatting. I've got like 10 projects that need to be done. Oh, in the morning you look like one. That's funny. Oh, so do I, but I don't advertise it. That's why all my videos are just hands. I did a video a while back of using fun foam instead of a jelly plate, and I did that video specifically for a friend because this summer I'm going to go help her at her little school, the Montessori school she teaches at. I'm going to go help her do a project, and I wanted to show her that this was possible cheaply. And so anyway, when she texted me, said she'd watched the video and she loved the idea and she thought it was great. And she said, and I love your talking hands. I forget how much I use my hands when I talk, but here's a little personal tidbit. Until I got married, for the 7 years before that, I worked for the orthodontist, and I started working for the orthodontist in high school. But I also, for the 7 years before I got married, I taught defensive driving classes. And every once in a while, I would have somebody who would say, I wonder if you could talk if you had your hands tied behind your back. I bet you couldn't. And I'm like, yeah, well, that is not the kind of evaluation, that I was looking for. I want to know if you got something out of the class. I want to know if I made things clear. I want to know if you enjoyed it more than you thought you would. I didn't want to know that I use my hands too much when I talk. But hot and muggy in West Virginia. Well, it's just hot here, no muggy. We have had so little moisture lately that the heat doesn't feel as hot because of that, which is good. But I'm looking forward to getting some rain. I'm hoping we will soon. I was trying to think if I had something around that I could do real quick while we're chatting. But everything is piled in a pile on top of another pile because I had to move everything. All my weaving and spinning stuff was put up, and I had to move it out. And then I had to dig back in and get some more stuff. There you go, Rose. Thank you. That makes me feel better. I had to go back and get some more stuff out. And, oh, I'm going to show y'all. You won't have to go watch the other video I just did that I haven't put out yet. I got some happy mail from my friend, Heather Crafter. If y'all don't know about her YouTube channel is called Craft Shack, KRAFTSHAAK, Craft Shack. And she does a Tuesday live at 1 o'clock Central Time, or 12 Mountain Time. She's in Mountain Time, but she does it at 12 o'clock Mountain Time, 1 o'clock Central Time, called Craft It Live. And she's an amazing artist. You will really enjoy her show. But she sent me some things. This was a pretty little card she sent. I'm pretty sure that one was done with dry pigments, dropped into water or water sprayed on it or whatever. And then here's a feather. Isn't that beautiful? I'm going to have to just stick that on my bulletin board or something. I don't know. I don't want to glue it down and mess up the other side. I can, if I have it on my bulletin board, I can trade sides. And I'll show you that in a minute because that's the piece de resistance. She sent me an ATC, and it's pretty on both sides. She loves to share the joy too. So, and this is some watercolor butterflies that she did. Aren't those pretty? And this is she was doing one of her Craft It Live shows. She was using a stencil, and here she used a stencil, you know, and a feather. That was pretty. But I asked her, where did you find that stencil? Which one is it? And she ended up sending it to me. Wasn't that sweet of her? I'll show you. It's a really cool stencil. This is the one that she was using in the project that I was asking about. I just love that. It's so detailed and all those little dainty lines. But this is the one that was in this piece. Was done with this one. And then there's also these leaves that she didn't use in that show. But that was such a cool surprise for her to send those to me. That was so sweet. I think she mentioned in the show that she found out she had 2 sets or something like that. So I was the lucky recipient of one of them. But she's so much fun to watch. And she's starting something that I don't know if anybody else does. I don't know of anyone else who does it. Hi, Danny. She's gonna start touring. They've got an RV, and she's gonna tour around, and she's gonna do what she calls art concerts. And you can go to this art concert, and you can watch her work live. But it's also gonna be on live on YouTube on the Craft It Live show. And so people will be in the audience. They'll be, you know, in the audience watching. And then they'll get to do some other stuff that we won't see if we're live. I mean, if we're online, but the ones, whatever town she's in. And Amarillo is going to be one of her stops. So so I'm going to be there. That's so cool. I just can't wait. It'll be fun to do that. Anyway, she's doing her first one in Arizona. I can't remember the name of the town, but she's doing it. I'm not sure if it's tomorrow or next Tuesday, but it would be fun to catch her live tomorrow. And if it's not tomorrow, then next Tuesday. She'll do a live stream both times anyway. But one of them is the art concert, and that would be fun to watch. So, hi, Holly. It's good to see you. Danny, I did say hi to you, I hope, didn't I? Susan. Hi, Susan. I missed some people while I was yakking and looking at my Happy Mail. But it's good for a chance to visit with y'all. I need to, well, since I've got some more people here, I'm going to show off my Mother's Day gifts that my kids gave me again. My daughter Hannah made me this little journal, and it says Diary of a Castaway, and it's made out of canna lily leaves that she used the piano, I think it's piano. Rose, what's that called? I know you know. But anyway, she bound it together. And so now I'm trying to find a way to preserve it. Somebody said to put tissue paper on one side and then varnish it. And that's an idea. I don't know if you need to varnish it before you, piano hinge binding. Thank you, Rose. She also, wove some vines around it to hold it together at the top and the bottom. Anyway, I just thought that was adorable. I had told the kids they didn't need to get me a Mother's Day present because they were helping my mom with some gardening, and that was my Mother's Day present for them to do that. My son got me this cute little dragonfly stamp, which I love. I'm so excited. I can't wait to use it. And he also made this cute little bag out of some a jelly print. Um, and he wrapped it up for me. Isn't that adorable? Such sweet kids. I'm a lucky mom. Um, anyway. Oh, well, whoops. It was. I can't wait to use that stamp. It's going to be a lot of fun. I don't know when I fell in love with. I've always loved dragonflies, but I had never thought about them. Um, there just aren't that many out there. Not like butterflies. Butterflies are everywhere. Dragonflies are not everywhere, and so they're harder to find. But he found me one, so that's cool. I'll be using it. I ought to go ahead and work on my Y and my Z while I'm talking. I got all the way to X while I was watching the replay of Mary's stream last night. And so, yeah, that's Cubby. Let's see. Come here, Cubby. Come here. Come here. Come on up here so the people can see you. Come on. Oh, you camera shy too? No, he won't do it. He's camera shy. Okay. Come on. No, okay. You can go lay down. It's okay. I'm sorry. Oh, yeah. He's funny. He likes to be out here with me because he feels like he's missing out if he's not where I am. But he's happy just to lay there and watch. He's not the kind of pet that I watch. Several people, the one that I can think of, several people, well, Aunt Beck has cats, but they're not always in her art as much as some of the others that I've seen. But their cats are walking all over their art table while they're trying to work, and I can just see how messy that could turn out to be, at least for me. So Cubby's lucky he doesn't get painted because he doesn't jump up here. But was Buddy your dog's or cat's name, or were you just calling him your buddy? I call Cubby my buddy. I call Cubby Buddy all the time, and I think it's like it's all obviously he's a lab, yeah. Cubby is a let's see if you can see him a little better. He's half chocolate lab and half German shepherd, and he's a good dog. But I call him Buddy quite a bit. When I first did that, it kind of bothered my son because when he was a little boy, I called him Buddy or Bud all the time. I told him that he was too big for me to call that anymore, and so I had to call somebody that. I got to find a pen here. Okay, now a Y. I think I'm going to try to do. Oh, this isn't even going to write. I don't want to. Maybe a little bit more from this way. I want to make sure that I leave enough room over here so that it doesn't end up. I don't have my little fussy cutting scissors out here. So we'll see what we can do with these. I want to make sure it stays in the book good, so. But my magazine's pages were kind of thin, and so I didn't want to just use one, so I've glued 2 pages together. And it turned out to be just about right for the book if I do it that way. Buddy was half lab, half chow. Oh, that's sweet. I had a half chow, half German shepherd once a long time ago, and she was not mush. She had not been played with. The people who owned her thought they were doing themselves. It makes me mad just think about it. They were doing themselves a favor, trying not to get attached to her. So for the first 4 months of her life, nobody played with her. And so she finally got to where would trust me, and she would let me pet her and stuff. But she never was. She never wanted to be my friend the way Cubby wants to be my friend. I always say she was more like a cat because she just wanted you to feed her and be, if you were outside with her, she was happy, but she wasn't, she didn't want to be inside, and um, she didn't want to be, hang out with me. Okay. One more Z. Anyway, she was a pretty good dog, but she had some issues. The biggest thing I remember about her name was Shasta, is that she hated thunder. It was like, I think she thought it was a big dog barking at her, because if it thundered, and lightning, whether it was raining or not, if it was it could be pouring down rain, and she would stand out in the middle of the yard and bark at the thunder. And you could tell it was her meanest, most angry bark. It was hilarious. But she didn't want to come in the house. I would have thought she would be afraid of it, but she was not afraid one bit. She was going to tell that big dog to get away. And she just barked and barked. She'd stand out there just pouring down rain and bark at the thunder. But and in the snow, I remember it would snow, and I would go out and call her, and she would just come up. She had a doghouse, but she never slept in it. She would just come out of the snow like a grizzly bear coming out of the snow. Didn't bother her a bit to be out there. But that was back when I worked, and I couldn't have her in the house all the time because, she needed to be outside. So it was a good thing she liked being outside. But put a blanket on him, yeah. Cubby doesn't seem to feel threatened by it, but he doesn't seem to notice it too much, to be honest. Now I got to remember, how do you make a Z? Okay. That's not working. I'm always afraid I'm going to do it backwards. Oops, no, let's not go that far. I want to have... Okay. Trying to think how do I get the... There we go, maybe. You can tell I'm not used to making letters out of magazine pages. A husky German Shepherd. I bet that was a pretty dog. Yeah. Cubby just doesn't like to be alone. Anything, as long as he's got his people with him, he can endure anything, I think. He just doesn't like to be alone. Sasha. I like that name. Well, I'm not doing a very good job of getting this torn out down here in the... There we go. That's better. I guess it's a good thing I'm going to cover these up with some paint and stuff because I'm, my letters are redone and redone, so I have all these extra lines. Okay. Well, that'll be fun. Well, I thought this book was going to be a, 1 page a night thing, and then when she went through and was doing the whole book, I was like, oh my goodness, I better get on the stick. So this new challenge is going to be an ongoing thing. That'll be good. Well, there's my A through Z, and then I've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, and the cover. So I may just leave those and not worry about them right now. Oh, I'm sorry, Holly. That's got to be hard. That's got to be hard. Well, this would have been a perfect size for the new one, Janet, because, well, no, it wouldn't have either. Because it had, I don't know how many actual, it depends on if we're using each side as, is this one and this one, or is this one, for this one, each leaf was one, and so and I may use the wrong terminology, but anyway, so if I had some wax paper, I would go ahead and paint on these. Do I have any? Cubby, do you know where the wax paper is? Do you know where the wax paper is? I know I had some out here somewhere, sometime. Oh, goodness. I don't know. I don't know where it is. Oh, there's got to be something I can use, though. Just a second. Is this going to work? Nope, not quite big enough. Well, good grief. Okay, I guess I can't. Okay, move, Cubby. I found something. Alrighty. I'll use one of these. I got these at the thrift store. There's some kind of language arts lessons, but they're on nice cardstock, and I thought I could make ATCs or tags or something out of them. And they just sold them to me for $0.25. So I'll use these to paint my stuff. Put that lid on that. I'm almost out of glue sticks. I tell you, I've run through glue sticks like crazy lately. So. I'm going to start with this and do some turquoise on here. Oh, that may not be a good idea. I forgot how transparent that looks when you use the card. I like it because it dries fast, but I'm going to go ahead and do it anyway. It's because it's easier. Use a little heat gun here. Sorry. Oh, I know, Holly. I have a lot I need to do too. I'm procrastinating too. I was just going to come on here for a few minutes. But did Mary get around to decorating at all on that live stream? I haven't gotten to the end of it yet. I think she was on letter T when I stopped. I wish you had room in your mailbox for me to send you some magazines or a book or something that you could use to do these challenges in. My stepfather is an architect, and so he gets all these architectural magazines, and he's still architecting even though he's 82 years old. So he goes into the office at least 2 days a week still. But he does it. He says, I don't read these like I used to, and I don't, learn everything I should learn out of them. I'm like, well, I think you're entitled to skip a few articles now and then. She just has the letters done. You can see how it pulled off the paint when I turned it over and painted. I kind of like that, though. Yeah, I think I'm going to continue to do a scraping kind of painting. I don't know if it's still not real dry. Oh, that's cool, Holly. What a great idea. Well, Rose, I wanted to ask you something. I had that, I was wanting to send you some pieces of this. Let me find it. Let me move this and find it, and you can see what I'm talking about. This wallpaper book that has, it's textured wallpaper. You can't, I don't know how good you can see it, but it doesn't have, any paint or anything. It's just textured, but it's paintable wallpaper. and I wanted to send you some to use on your jelly plate, but I didn't know if you would prefer to have a piece that would be big enough to cover your jelly plate and me have to fold it, or if you would rather have a piece that I could slide in one of those like 7x9 envelopes. It wouldn't be big enough for your whole jelly plate, but it wouldn't be folded that way. But I wanted to send you a few of these. So I'm asking, would you rather have a smaller piece or would you rather have a bigger piece folded? Yeah, I knew you had an 8x10 jelly plate. I just didn't know if you wanted a piece of paper that was, I couldn't. Oh, cool. Well, that's what I was thinking. After you've used them, you can use them for something else. Um, well, unless you say something different, Rose, I'm just going to send you the size piece I can slide into that envelope so they won't be bent. But I've got a whole bunch of different ones here. Some of them, are real pretty, like this. And some of them are just texture. Some have good designs and some are just plain texture. But I thought they would be fun on the jelly plate anyway. Yeah, I'm sure I'll do something with mine besides throw them away too. But I have, there's a whole bunch of different ones in here. I don't know how well y'all can see these in the camera. But, ooh, I like that one. Isn't that pretty? This one's pretty too. But it's kind of like a bonus. You get to put some texture on your jelly plate, and then you get, then you get the painted paper also. Oh, I like that one too. Can y'all see that? That's pretty. I'm just too lazy of a person to put something like this in my house and have to put the wallpaper up and then go back and paint it. If I'm going to go to the trouble to put wallpaper up, oh, look, bricks. I want it to be painted. And if I'm going to be painting, I want the color in it already. So, oh. Well, I just found this one. I went to Sherwin-Williams, and the guy there said he had four books, and one of them happened to be this textured type papers. The other ones were all had prints on them. One of them is the one that I'm making my giant glue book out of. Have you seen this, Holly? My great big book of awesome. This is the thing I did with my least favorite of the wallpaper books, and I like it. It's just it's kids wallpaper, and so it's not something that I would use as many different ways as I might some of those others. But have you seen this, Holly? Well, this is a collage I did on the front, and I haven't done very much in here. The first thing I did was this Dr. Seuss page, which I really like. That was a lot of fun. And then I did where is it? I did a giant landscape. I don't know if you can see the whole thing. And it's kind of shiny, so I did a giant landscape. And that one was a whole lot of fun. I really enjoyed that. And then I did the flowers and hummingbirds. So that one was fun too. That's all I've done in here so far. But I'm really enjoying it. When I get an idea, I want to do a one that's like a treasure chest, and because I've got some jewelry out of some magazines, but they've got this page like this that's I don't know if there's, I think there's, yeah, and there's one that's blue. Um, anyway, I thought they've got treasure chests on them. I thought it might be fun to put some piratey things over here and make a treasure chest over here. Or just leave that and make a treasure chest over here to go with it. I don't know. But that's what I'm thinking about for my next one. But this is a fun book to work in. Um, I like working big, and I'm enjoying working small. So this collage thing is, I think that's really probably my favorite thing that I've learned how to do. I like a lot of stuff, but the collage that's the most fun, I think, for me. But so, well, I never get bored, Holly, and I bet you don't either. That's one thing about an eclectic type personality is there's always something else to learn. Oh, that would have been so cute. That's funny. Well, if I didn't have something like a treasure chest page in my head, I would have probably thrown those out too, because I'm not into skulls and crossbones and things, but they would have been fun on a page like this. Um, See, Rose, you can't throw out anything. That's what I tell my husband. As soon as I throw it away, somebody's going to need it. And I could have sent it to him, but instead I threw it away. Although usually things like that for me would go to the thrift store. We just cleaned out our closets again, my husband and I. We did this last year, and we got rid of a lot of clothes at the thrift store because we were in the middle of losing weight. And then this year, our summer clothes, we've lost weight since last summer, and so we were getting rid of some more clothes. And so we took 2 huge trash bags to the thrift store, and I'm just so grateful that the thrift stores exist, because I wouldn't have a wardrobe after looking at stores and what clothes cost. I couldn't clothe my family if we didn't have thrift stores and places where resale stores. So I'm happy to donate things back to help other people, but anyway, it was funny how we went and donated some stuff, and then we went shopping, same place. Oh. My husband um, he's a very neat person, and when I say neat, I mean he likes clean tabletops. He wants everything. He doesn't want junk sitting around everywhere. Well, when you've got a wife and 2 kids who all 3 are hobbyists, as Hannah says it, my son does models and Legos, and he's still at 19, he loves those things, and he does a lot more complicated things now, so it's a lot more expensive hobby. But and then my daughter loves to paint and draw, and she spins and weaves and stuff like I do, and so he's got 3 people who clutter his house with creative stuff all the time. So he oh, but he has adjusted. Yeah, yeah. We always well, I homeschool, so I would always buy when the kids were young and they were growing at a pretty steady rate. There was this place called Children's Exchange, or it's called Clothes Exchange now, but they had They had a room where you could get 15 things for $5. And I would go into that room, but it was always the last season's stuff. So in the spring, it would be winter stuff. And in the fall, it would be summer stuff, you know. So I would always go and get the next size up out of that room. And and so we were able to, you know, I didn't have to worry about them having to look a certain way at school, because we did have, you know, I mean, they didn't wear trashy clothes. They were nice clothes, but they were not necessarily the newest thing. Um, and so, you know, it was nice to be able to do that and to go get them cheaper, because people quit wanting them, you know, even if they were nice. I got some really brands that surprised me. I would find Gap and Land's End, and I'm trying to think what else. Some Tommy Hilfiger and a bunch of different stuff like that I found for my kids in that resale mart, you know, where they ended up being 33 cents each, because they were the next, you know, for the last season. And so that was cool. But anyway, that was fun. Well, I'm going to have to get off of here. I wish I could just stay and chat some more, but I've still got a lot of stuff to do to prepare to teach those kids tomorrow. And so, no, I don't blame you, Holly. Well, and they just, not only do they wear them out, but they grow out of them so fast. Sometimes they don't even get to wear them out. I remember my daughter, every year she would get new Easter shoes. And we did buy those new, because little girls' white shoes, you know, you can't find those very good. I would get new Easter shoes, and that's when her growth spurt would happen, right after Easter. So in 3 weeks, she couldn't wear them anymore. I was like, you know, oh, I know, Janet. I was glad that I could come at all. I wish I could have come on tonight, but I got to visit family. It's more important. Much as I love y'all, they deserve some time too. So that's what I'll be doing, eating supper with them at 7 o'clock. So y'all have a great evening, and have a blessed day. And maybe we'll do another impromptu sometime this week, since this one was so short. But God bless you, each and every one. Bye-bye, friends.